On this week's Nonsensible podcast.
Wow, this is the person that I'm going to love for the rest of my life because relationships are like, it's a roller coaster.
This was so cozy. I feel like I have to leave an Airbnb review after this.
Love is like a fire.
Oh.
It burns, but you have to keep feeding it. Otherwise, it dies.
Wow, Jang Min.
And you have to keep
Shit, write this down.
This is Nonsensible.
All right, welcome back. You are listening to Nonsensible with Sam.
And Dave.
And we have two very special guests joining us today.
Two very special guests. Introduce yourselves, guests.
Hello, my name is Min, and I'm from Spain.
Min.
Yeah.
And what do you do here in Korea?
In Korea, well, actually, my dad is Korean, my mom is Spanish, so I used to come often when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And at some point of my life, I had the chance to come for work.
Mhm.
So I did that in 2013. By then, I was traveling all around the world. I was working, because of my visa contract, I used to work like 3 months in one place and keep traveling. Then one of those work chances was in Korea. Then I came here. I was those 3 months, and I kept traveling. So at some point in 2015, I started asking myself what I want to do. What is going to be my next step? I wanted to think in the long term, and instead of traveling as a model, I wanted to come here and try to find that part that wasn't me, which was in Korea, because I couldn't also speak the language, and I wanted to come many times when I was a kid. So I left all my other things, all my other projects apart, and then I decided to come to Korea.
Thank you for that very detailed description of your entire life. You could have been like, hey, I'm a model in Korea, and but thank you for that. If you guys can't see it, if you guys are listening to our podcast through only audio, he's one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen in my entire life. He's gorgeous.
Also, I'd just like to point out that most people probably know you as Jang Min as opposed to just Min.
Yeah, a lot of people know you as Jang Min as well.
Yeah.
And I always assumed Jang Min was your Korean name, but Jang is your surname?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Spain, actually, we have both surnames. So in there, my name is Min Chang Vergara.
Uh-huh.
I keep my mother's surname too.
Okay.
Excellent. And our second guest today.
Hi guys. So I didn't prepare an autobiography, but
Okay, you didn't.
On the spot, we want you to ad-lib it.
Tell
Or
us
make
about your
yourself-
entire
make
life.
yourself into
From the
one.
day you were born.
actually, let me think back. But,
From conception.
hey guys, my name is Joon. I am an actor, comedian, content creator, host. Based in LA currently. Just came to Korea to hang, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having
Nice to
me.
have you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of it feels like it's a bit of a thing at the moment. We've had a few guests on recently who are from out of town with everything that's going on in the world. Everyone's
America's
like,
not the place to be.
yeah, exactly.
So-
That's what a lot of people are saying. It's like Korea seems like a pretty good place to be.
We had Mikey Chen last week,
Oh, yeah?
and he was like, he does not want to go back because
Yeah.
of how it is in the States right now. How do you feel about that? Are you going back soon? Are you?
Yeah, it's my last week here. I already extended 2 weeks. It's very bittersweet. Much more bitter than sweet. Actually, not sweet at all. Really.
Just
Yeah,
bitter.
just bitter.
I'm just bitter.
Just bitter. I would love to spend Christmas and New Year's here, but because I have 2 kitties at home, I didn't want to keep hopping around with like cat sitters and asking other people.
Sorry, I thought you said kitties.
Kids. Yeah, okay.
Kitties.
Oh,
Cats.
kittens.
I was going to say, you left 2 children
I
behind.
have 2 kids. Yes.
I have 3 cats, so I feel
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's a big responsibility. So that's probably the main reason I can't keep extending. But I have my brother lives here, so I've been fortunate enough to stay with him. But yeah, Korea's a paradise compared to America.
Yeah. I've heard.
I don't even want to imagine what it's like over there. I think here at the moment we're kind of struggling. Numbers have started going up again. I mean, but when you compare it to what is happening in
Sure.
America, it was like 200,000 the other day.
Right.
Spain is, the last I saw, 5,000-6,000 people a day.
Yeah, it's going crazy too.
I heard in America in a lot of places they pretty much have given up, as in like life has gone back to normal, and it's just like if you get it, you get it. In some places,
Right.
at least.
Well, I know. Well, fun fact. I know we can talk about this later, but you're from Georgia, right?
Yeah.
I'm from
Atlanta.
Georgia.
Yeah, Duluth.
Yeah, I'm from Marietta.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm sure we have like a lot of mutual friends.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
that's
I know that
funny.
you're from Duluth area.
Okay.
Did you go to a Korean church by any chance?
Of course.
KCPC, KFPC, which one?
Well, I know a lot of people from those churches.
Yeah.
I never went there because it was too far. But
Okay.
I know a lot of people. I went to Han in Alpharetta for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
And then
I know where that's
Back
at, yeah.
in Marietta, a place
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Songyak. But yeah, well, back to that question. Georgia, from what I hear from my friends, is like people just don't care. And I
Yeah.
visited not too long ago, and I went into a gas station just to pick up some snacks and stuff. But I was the only one wearing a mask, and I felt out of place. It was
Wow.
weird. And people at gyms, especially the gyms, no one's wearing a mask.
Wow.
It's kind of
Big yikes.
it's big yikes.
Because you cannot know about all these things. People talk about the security measures and everything, but you don't know how people react. How is the society going? So the things I heard from Spain is the same.
Right.
When everybody said don't go to the street, people used to hide in the streets to rob some people too. I mean it was going crazy. And right now, 1,500,000 people got the virus so far. It means that 1.5% of the population already got it, and nobody is like.
Are you scared
taking
for friends
serious.
and family?
Mostly because of my family. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very worried.
Because this doesn't just affect you as a person. It affects people that you know as well.
Well, I mean, you have to
My
look
parents
at
aren't young.
you have to look at there's different ways to deal with the issue. Like in my hometown, I think they shut down the city for like 3 months. It's now masks are compulsory or were compulsory, but they haven't had any cases of COVID in the last 3 weeks. Also, a friend of a friend caught COVID in the States and went and like essentially they were getting the equivalent of Tamiflu. It's just kind of like go home and deal with it.
Right.
Kind of situation
What?
was what I heard. Yeah. Like it's just at that stage now where it's there's nothing you can really do about it. It seems.
Well, I agree with some people saying we have to learn to live with it. That's one thing. Learning to live with it is one thing, but learning to accept it is completely different, in my opinion. You can't just learn to be okay with it, I think we have to learn to live in a society where this is a prevalent factor, but I don't know about learning to deal with it.
I know like Koreans like have this like new term, the new normal. I mean, just like moving forward, like this is kind of be the new normal. Even when the vaccine comes out, even when things quote unquote go back to normal, I think there's just going to be a new way of living.
Yeah.
Just a kind of a more cautionary, more. Hopefully, back in America, I think one thing that a lot of Americans can adapt and learn from Koreans is just kind of being more attentive and aware of other people around you. Not to just like bash too much on us, but I think just the American mentality is a bit more egocentric, self-centered.
Yep.
And one thing I really admire about Koreans, especially like subway etiquettes, etc., is just kind of being mindful of others around you.
It's
That
very
public space.
community focused.
Yeah.
It kind of got me thinking because I was looking at Kevin Hart's Instagram this morning, and he put a post on it because
Baby.
he dressed his newborn baby in like a suit that had no f***s given on it.
Because that's the name of his special.
Yeah, his Netflix special is no f***s given. And then like he's posted about it the following day, and there's an article, and reporters are like, people are being like, we're gonna come and take your child away. You can't dress a child in profanity laced, t-shirt,
Right.
and it's just kind of it's almost getting out of control. Which it's on that whole sort of self-centered
Sure.
issue that you deal with in the States, I guess, but political correctness as well. And being that you're involved in comedy yourself,
Right.
being that you're a minority in comedy in America, Like, are these issues that you find yourself dealing with on a regular basis? And if they are, how are you dealing with them? Because in comedy, comedy is almost the opposite of political correctness.
Right.
To be PC and try and be funny, it is possible, but it's also incredibly difficult to some extent.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everyone does have their own little different brands of comedy, and it's interesting because the two complete opposite words can be on the same spectrum. So one person can call content or a bit edgy, and one can call it politically incorrect. And you know what I mean? It's just like, because the whole point of comedy is a bit of exaggeration. It's a bit of being edgy and being witty. But for the most part, a lot of my content and bits tend to be more family friendly centered. So I don't really curse much in my content. That's kind of the approach and brand that I took. I think it's just more brand friendly, etc. But I mean, I respect people like Kevin Hart. He's gotten in hot waters in the past couple of years for many things. I mean, as a comedian, I think the best example is like Dave Chappelle. He's just on a whole nother level where he can kind of say whatever he wants, but he does it in a way where he's already gained the people's trust because people know, the audience know that he's coming from good intentions. He's coming from a good place. So he can really push that envelope. But he's one in few that can really just speak his mind.
Incredible. Let's move on to some more positive, family-friendly conversation. Jang Min, now you last year or 2 years, how long has it been since you've become a man of
A married person?
a married man? Yes,
Oh. Actually, it's about to be 1 year.
it's about to be 1 year, so
Yeah,
he's a
in December.
fresh.
Still in the honeymoon phase.
Chang Min, can I ask how old you are? And it's my first time meeting.
I'm 30 in the Korean age.
You're
So
29,
29.
29.
29, yeah.
you're 90.
91.
Oh wow. Okay, you look young. So I was asking, you're married. Wow.
He got married, and it's stupid how good this couple looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she looks good too.
She's
That's
gorgeous.
unfair. That's just unfair.
Thank you so
Model.
much.
Just it's not fair.
I think a lot of the audience watching this right now are just like,
yeah, seriously.
married guy.
Seriously.
The thing that gets worse about that is because people are envisioning when they have children, how gorgeous those children will be.
I wanted to ask you some questions about that because lately
About having children? Well, it's not that difficult. It's not that difficult.
Sam, be
When a
the
man meets a
mentor.
woman, they fall in love. No.
Yes, please tell me.
Be the mentor though. Let's go into father
I
counseling.
mean, you know,
Ask a
like
question.
I have Instagram. My wife also have Instagram, and sometimes she send me those pictures of pregnant women or parents playing with their kids. Sometimes she send me even videos of your kids, and you say, "Oh, sooner or later we can be the same." And yeah. I mean, I'm kind of excited. I'm ready for. No, I'm not ready for that. But I'm kind of excited too.
You're starting to be more open-minded to the idea of becoming a father in the future.
Yeah, actually, because making the idea of seeing myself as a married person was also challenging when I had to take the decision. So I was like, yeah, why not? Like, some people might consider that I'm young to get married.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, at this age, like my parents were already having their second children.
I think that's a
Right?
cultural thing. In Georgia, I mean, like depending on the culture, I know like a lot of like white Americans, they get engaged in college.
Yeah.
It's a very culture like
High school sweethearts.
Southern, like the Southern Belt, especially if it's like the Bible
All my
Belt.
friends are married with kids.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And like,
Anyways,
What was that? Like there's something wrong with children?
no, it's just I don't know. Your 20s, it's, you know. I don't know. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting married and having kids, but you know, your 20s.
Whatever floats your boat. See, look, I got married when I was how long have we been married? For 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, was when we had the wedding.
Yeah, and you're
But we'd been in a
mid-30s.
relationship longer than that.
Yeah.
So, mid-30s. but I was like 39 when I had my first child. But how much for? Yeah, like 39. So if I went after my experiences with marriage and having kids, if I could go back in time and change things, I would have done it a lot sooner.
Yeah, but we're talking about Brad and Vanessa in Georgia State University having their first kid at 22, you know? Like,
Sure.
Yeah, I think for me, I wouldn't have gone to university, like in terms of getting married and having kids at university age, but I would definitely have gone early 30s.
I feel like there's nothing wrong with having kids young or getting married young. I'm just saying.
You bring up a point.
Yeah, I'm just like.
Well, there are two sides to every story.
Nobody's. I just don't think I was at a mature enough state when I was even 27 to have made a big decision like that.
Think about this though. If you have a child at the age of 22, when that child is 20, you're only 42.
Yeah.
If you have a child at the age of 40, when that child's 20, you're 60.
Right.
So when they're going through high school and you're a 50-year-old father as opposed to like a 30-year-old, 40-year-old father, the ball game's completely different.
That is a good point.
You don't want to be granddad going and picking up your kids from school.
It also depends about the parents because not every 22 years old person is the same.
Oh, exactly.
There is some people that have some economical stability or some level of maturity that some other people don't have. So some people can be ready. Some people at that time want to play more. Some people are not even stable. So you have to take care of a kid. You have to take
LeBron
responsibility.
James and Kobe Bryant, you know, rest in peace. But, you know, they were very, you know, like well-off fathers and they love their kids and they have beautiful families, you know. Like LeBron James, he must have had his first kids when he was in his late 20s, right? Or mid-20s?
I'd imagine, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
his kids
straight out of high school. He's making $100 million.
His kid's about to be in the NBA in like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So probably mid-20s. But so I guess
they were high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
So there is that. They've been together for
and
since
I think financial stability.
If you're making $100 million straight out of high school, I think kind of changes the agenda a bit.
True.
Well, Dave, let me ask you: Do you plan to have kids?
Oh hell yeah!
What's your ideal age to settle, like have kids?
Let's see. I'm 32 Korean age, so internationally I'm 31.
So
Probably a
if you
good
have
36, 37.
If you have children now, by the time your kids are
Bro,
graduating
that's not
high
my
school,
choice.
Just have a baby mama, you know.
No, what I'm saying, but if
what
your
he's saying.
kids graduate high school, you're already 50.
Right.
That's okay.
Okay, no, but that's what I'm saying. So 20s is not as, you know, it's
Yeah. Okay.
once you put yourself in that position, you think about it differently.
I agree with Sam. Though. Like I'm like nowhere ready to have kids yet or anything like that. But I agree with you in that sense. Where ideally, if I could choose, I would probably want to get married, like late 20s, like early 30s, and just enjoy a couple years with my wife.
Yep.
Just like alone time, because I've heard so many stories of parents having kids like right away and just like not being able to really enjoy just being husband and wife.
The moment.
Yeah.
The moment.
And
How old are you?
I am 27, American, so 28 Korean.
28 Korean.
And so I would. Oh man, that's soon. Oh shit.
It's like next week.
Time is ticking. Oh man.
That's the same age of my wife.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I would. Yeah. I'm kind of on the same boat as you. I would like to get married a little bit earlier, just enjoy some time with my wife, and then have kids, like preferably early 30s. But who knows?
Yeah, I guess there are so many factors that come into play. The other thing is, obviously, you've got to have a partner. You know, preferably. I mean,
I want a partner.
You can do it the other way. I mean, Sayuri recently
Yeah, I saw that. Awesome.
gave birth
Yeah.
to her son. She's not married, and she went to a sperm bank and, you know,
Well, that's
got artificially inseminated.
because
which I think
she had no choice, apparently, medical wise. Wasn't that the whole thing?
her biological clock was
Yeah,
ticking.
her
And they
yeah.
said, you know, you can't really wait much longer. And, you know, I commend her. She's made a difficult choice, but, you know, she's going to be a great mum. So either way.
Now I did the like a simulation, so we got the dog. So now it's like everything.
Are you saying you're doing a simulation through
No.
a dog?
Okay, it sounds like that. I got a dog
So you can
one month ago.
It's kind
So
of like
it's like everything I do or I don't is a little comparison to see if I'm responsible or if I can take care of a kid.
Bro,
Like,
if that's the case, I can have 7 kids. I had 4 cats and a dog, dude.
Then
You're ready, Dave.
ready.
What's
What's stopping you, bro?
You're actually really responsible.
you actually could at least raise 1 children if you've got that many pets.
Yeah.
You're set.
And
You're set.
I'm so good with my animals. You guys have seen. I'm so good with my animals.
Raising a pet and a child is a little bit different, but it's a good start.
Is it? Yeah,
It's a good start.
It takes like sometimes now I have to sacrifice some things, right? For example, I have to be more clean, take more care with everything. So it's like a little comparison. Like you have to sacrifice yourself for somebody else.
Yeah.
So some people is not even ready to do that for a little animal, right? So I didn't have the experience so far to have a pet. So now I'm trying to get.
Are you clean
get
now?
ready.
Because your last place,
what we got out of this.
your last place was chaos.
Yo, don't put him on blast.
I'm very clean.
Don't put him on
I'm
blast,
very
Dave.
clean with my house. So
Yeah, now
You're
I'm
exposing
looking
him.
for a partner.
Yeah. You're going to swipe left or right.
Right.
Today's episode of Nonsensible is brought to you by health counseling app BetterHelp. That's H-E-L-P help. This has been a really weird year for all of us. I think a lot of people are really feeling the effects of being alone these days, and it's taking a toll on the mental health of people all around the world. One of the reasons that I believe the rise in popularity of podcasts is so intriguing is that it really speaks to our inherent desire to connect with one another through real, unedited dialogue. I think that many of us are reluctant to or might even feel guilty about reaching out to our loved ones during those times we need to talk with someone about what's going on in our lives. That's why we wanted to tell you about BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a counseling app that gives you access to a professional counselor specifically chosen for your needs in a private, safe, online environment in under 24 hours or less. This isn't just self-help, it's a professional counseling app. You can use BetterHelp to schedule phone or video sessions with your counselor from the privacy of your home using the app, and services are available anywhere around the world. All you need is an internet connection. BetterHelp is much more affordable than traditional offline therapy sessions, and you can change your counselor at any time for whatever reason, free of charge, because BetterHelp is so committed to finding the perfect match just for you. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off of the first month by visiting our sponsor, betterhelp.com/nonsensible. That's BetterHelp help.com/nonsensible. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/nonsensible. Go check it out today.
Are you enjoying married life?
Yeah, I'm enjoying so much.
Because obviously you're in that honeymoon phase, but and I say this to people a lot as well, like married life, it's like a new chapter in life.
Mm-hmm.
Everything changes. And there's obviously negatives that come with positives in anything in life, but that new chapter and you find yourself enjoying different moments that you never imagined before.
Mm-hmm.
I think, that's for me. Like I said before, I'd go back and do it a lot sooner.
I also thought like that many times. Sometimes some people or friends ask me, "Are you sure? I mean, are you happy married?" And I say, "Yeah. If I could have done it earlier, I would have done it earlier." Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he told me he was like, it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. You're like, I'm gonna get married. I'm like, what do you think about that? I'm like, whoa, dude. What the hell?
And that was the reaction of most of my
I
friends.
was like, whoa, dude, what? But yeah, he did it. That's cool.
This is making me just want to go propose right now. Like, just go get a ring right now.
Do you have a girlfriend?
You have a girlfriend?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
How long you've been meeting?
It's very, very recent. Yeah.
Mm.
Very recent.
4 days.
I think last week. No, it's been a few months. Yeah.
Also,
a few months.
that thing is also not about time. I
agree.
I was meeting my girlfriend for a year. Then I realized, wow, I really want to stay with this girl.
Question to both of you, because I know everyone answers this differently. To both of you, how did you know, and when did you know your wife was like the one? Is this something that you can put to words, or do you just know? And it's okay if that's the answer.
I still don't know. No,
I'm still feeling her out. We're still in the trial phase.
I met my wife in 1998.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we got married in 1998. We got married in 2000. I want to say 14, 15.
Oh, wow.
2014. Yeah, so we've been married for 6 years.
Wow.
I'm really bad with maths. We met when I was in university and I was an exchange student. I went back to Australia. She was here. There was a lot of backwards and forwards. And then I moved here in 2002 and we lived together and it was kind of on and off and we had issues. And prior to getting married, like 6 months prior to getting married, I thought our relation was done for, our relationship. I thought there's no way I'm getting married with this woman, and we'll just go our own separate ways and, we'll just have good memories of what was. But I'd also had the opportunity to talk with someone that I was working with on a television show at the time, and something that he said stuck in the back of my mind. And he said, when it comes to getting married, he recommends you get married to someone that's been with you through the tough times, the difficult times.
Wow.
Not just someone who's been there for the good times.
Wow.
So I started getting thinking about that, and I'd always been on my wife's case about, you got to go out and, look at self-improvement and doing certain things, and it had been swimming or English or whatever over the period of time we'd been in a relationship. But then one day she just decided out of the blue without me even saying anything, she's like, you know what, I've just started taking swimming lessons. I'm just taking English lessons. I'm doing this, that, and everything else. And I'd seen a change in her that I'd wanted from her. But these are things you can't force on someone. They have to make these decisions for themselves. And seeing her make those changes in her life and knowing that she'd been beside me when I couldn't afford to pay the rent and I couldn't afford to pay my phone bill. And she'd been through that stage and stuck around. So I knew when things were on the up, she'd be there to stick around if things got shit again, as opposed to people who'd been there and they're like, oh, wow, you're so successful. You're doing so well. Maybe we should, hook up. It's like, okay, it sounds great at the time, but they're only ever seeing when you've been successful.
Right.
And especially in this line of work.
Oh, yeah.
Ebbs and flows.
Sure.
So when you're not making money and you're like sucking your thumb, the last thing you want is someone that's going to be like, you know what, bye, I'm out of here. And then you find that deep hole that you just fall straight into.
The thing about me is I envy both of you because even with my last relationship, I just thought to myself, maybe I should marry this girl because, I don't think I can fall in love anymore. And because I end up falling out of love and I don't know, do you have to marry the person you're crazy in love with, or what is it? Do you just know?
From my experience, when you meet someone, it's not like fireworks and it's not like, wow, this is the person that I'm going to love for the rest of my life, because relationships are it's a roller coaster.
Okay.
Falling out of love, I think you look at a lot of older people and they don't have the relationships they initially had. So maybe they don't fall out of love, but there's levels of lust and romance that definitely change. But you have ups and downs, and what it comes down to is you have to put in an effort.
Yeah.
It's like anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't just say, well, I'm in love with you. Well, we're going to be in love forever. That's not going to happen.
Well, you know me. It's not like I wasn't ever a bad boyfriend, but what I'm saying is, I guess I did feel like I shared a connection with that individual. The last few relationships in a personal level, I ended up finding nothing to talk about, or there was nothing, I guess, there that made me think I didn't feel like, yeah.
Let me give it to you like this. In a relationship, and you meet people that are in relationships that have similar hobbies and a lot of middle ground, and they're like, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But more often than not, it's the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a lot of middle ground, I find people in those relationships tend to struggle more. If you have different points of view, you learn to live, you know.
Yes.
For example, if I have a wife that enjoys going to the opera and I hate the opera, but you're going to go to the opera because you know it makes your wife happy. And it starts opening your peripheral to different parts of culture and different art forms and things that you didn't know about. And you can start to learn enjoying things because of that.
This is a lot about acceptation. Also, you cannot try to change the person.
Yeah.
You have to accept. And if your wife, for example, loves to go to the opera and you don't like the opera, you're not going to change her. You're not going to tell her, hey, I don't like to go to the opera. Don't do that. Don't go there. But because at the same time, I'm going to have also my things, the things I like, and she's not gonna like. It's a lot about acceptation.
So find a girl who likes going to the opera. Okay.
Well, the other thing is you find in relationships, you think you're walking down the same road, but all of a sudden your partner turns left when you think you're turning right. And it could be just, she's taken a different life choice. It could be, a hobby, or it could be even with her work. And it just puts a spanner in the works all of a sudden. And those are things that I guess it's about being adaptable. Can you adapt to this situation?
Yeah.
Because it could be like a mind, and you're like, I can't believe you're doing that. Why are you doing that? The most important thing in any relationship is to have open lines of communication. You need to be able to sit down, and I've found more so recently than in the earlier stage of my marriage, but we're almost at a place now that every night we put the kids to bed and it's like, okay, we've got an hour or two where we just sit down and talk. Well, to even turn the TV off, and we're just like, I'll pour my wife a glass of rum or a glass of wine, whatever she's drinking at the time. Let's just shoot the shit.
Yeah.
And let's just get it off our chest and put it on the table and say, this is what I want. This is what I think. Let's deal with it. And a lot of relationships, people forget about that or ignore that.
One thing I do love is to that point too. On top of all the days, all the fun things that comes with dating, to be able to just sit down and just talk, and laugh and just communicate. At the end of the day, that's priceless.
Yeah.
And I try to practice this thing too, where it's don't go to bed angry. Where it's just if something's on your chest, if something's on your mind, settle it out, hash it out, shoot the if you're gonna get into it, but try. Let's not go to bed angry.
That is
easier said than done, maybe.
Easier said than done, but it's great because I had a similar thing recently, and I just came out and said to my, look, I'm jealous, and it was a jealousy issue, and she's like, you're being an idiot, and I'm like, I'm being an idiot, sure, but look at it from my perspective.
Right.
And she's like, I can completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
She reassured me, you don't need to be jealous.
Yeah.
But then she's like, I kind of think it's sweet. And, you don't bring that out in communication. You let it sit here in your chest and it festers.
It sucks.
And you're like, oh, this person is driving me crazy.
And you spiral.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm like that, so yeah.
He's like that as well.
With jealousy?
No, you spiral, you overthink, and then you put yourself in a mental state that you don't need to be.
Yeah, I lose control easily. It's not healthy, but I usually get more out of the aftermath of spiraling, because then I sit down. I usually don't. If I spiral with one person, for example, I usually don't spiral with them again, though. Or when I spiral in a situation, I usually don't. I tend to not repeat spiral.
I see.
If that makes any sense. I've talked about it in the podcast before. Everyone has their demons. Everybody has their darkness, and I tend to enjoy those parts of life because I tend to become a little bit stronger from that. Let's change the subject to. I'm getting extremely lonely talking about this because
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the darkness here for a minute. It's the loneliness.
No, it's just becoming.
But you have to admit, like I look at Jang Min, and Jang Min is almost like the epitome of perfection sitting over here.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, as in, I've seen Jang Min in his lowest as well. You know, I've seen him in his darkness. I've seen him. He's I know that even with his relationship, even before I've known of past relationships you've had and stuff, and he's gone through a lot too. And it's kind of an inspiration because he ended up finding the perfect person. So I'm just. I find it best not to think about it because if you're out there looking for that person,
Oh no, it'll never happen.
it never happened. Even with my ex, she'd be like, "Why aren't you jealous? Why don't you?" I'm actually in a good like I think I've mentioned it before. I'm actually in a good relationship with my ex-girlfriend, which was my most serious relationship recently because we didn't even break up out of fighting. She was just like, I don't feel like you love me, and I'm like, I do. She's like, yeah, like family. I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's not enough. So, and now talking about this is destroying me.
Yeah, I just on that note though, I just want to finish it with this for you though,
Okay.
Dave. Feeling like your family, from my perspective,
I thought it was good.
That's not necessarily a bad thing at all.
Me too. I thought it was good.
You can. There's different relationships have so many different levels in it.
Yeah, I think saying like I see you as a family is like you see her like as your little sister.
I did almost at that point.
That's another thing.
Okay,
Because when we broke up, it felt like my roommate moved out, not my girlfriend. I was like, oh man, nobody to play games with
Then
anymore.
maybe because you didn't have other important things in common.
I think so too. But now that's but then that makes me think now after talking about two people who have had successful relationships and somebody who's in a fresh relationship. Now I just feel.
Don't get me wrong. It's not a successful relationship. Me and my wife have shit days
Yeah, I
as
know.
well.
I've seen you guys fight. I've seen them fight.
There's nothing. It's something. It's just a work in progress.
Yeah,
is what I like to call
Of course.
it.
And every situation is like experience. Like every past relationship is experience. Every future fight is experience. And at the end, everything counts, right? And another true thing is that the less you look for it, the more ready you are to face the moment to get in a relationship.
Yeah, I think so too.
And there's nothing better than fighting in a relationship.
Yeah, it does
Because
help.
it means that you actually care. Yeah. If I'm not fighting, if they do something that I'm get irritated with or I get angry about, and I just say nothing about it and I go along on my happy way, there's no love there anymore.
I did that. That's what I would do. That's what would happen. I'd be like, oh, we don't have to fight. It's okay, whatever. It's okay. I'm sorry. She's like, you're always sorry. I'm like, yeah. Can we stop?
I have the bad news that one of my friends in Spain recently got separated.
Like
his
divorced?
wife. Yeah, pre-divorce is gonna be a divorce, and the story is that both people were different, but there is a point where one of both get tired of arguing or fighting, and that's when somebody gives up, when he doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
At the end, it's sad, but love is like a fire.
Oh.
It burns, but you have to keep feeding it. Otherwise, it dies.
Wow, Jang
And
Min.
you have to keep
Shit. Write this down. Someone write this down right now. I need
good.
this.
That's my next Instagram caption.
Love is like a fire. You
Put
have
my
to
tag.
keep tag them. Yeah.
Love is like a fire. You need to keep feeding it.
I'm gonna post a fire selfie with that. It's
It's a good one, Jang Min. Hug that out.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is so good. I think we've got the title for this episode of the podcast.
Love is like a
Love
fire.
is a fire.
Love is a fire. I like it.
Yeah, love is a fire. ... Because you don't want to give the conclusion away in the title because then people won't listen.
Why did this entire podcast, this episode, feel like a therapy session?
That's what podcasts are.
Exactly.
That's literally
Exactly.
what it is.
This
That's-
was,
And after this, you said you come to my place to have dinner with me and my wife.
yeah.
Are you gonna be okay later?
No, I'm gonna be fine.
Nice.
All right. Your wife is cool.
It's round 2 of therapy for Dave.
Yeah, your wife jokes around a lot, and she's playful. So I don't think I'm gonna feel too terrible.
He says while looking up at the roof.
So I think I'll feel okay. Yeah. I'm excited for home cooking though.
Nice.
That was a deep
I like that.
episode. It was good to kind of get into some topics of conversation that we don't normally get
Yeah,
into.
we actually don't normally get into it. It's more silly-esque, but yeah. Well, it's your first experience on our podcast. I know you guys are going to be coming back, but what did you guys think of it so far? Did you guys enjoy our presence, our company, or did you hate it?
Presence.
I mean, it doesn't feel like a podcast. It feels like a cool reunion.
Just
with
the boys?
friends. Yeah.
This was so cozy. I feel like I have to leave an Airbnb review after this.
We'd appreciate a review, but
On
Communication was great.
Spoticast, what did I
awesome.
say?
Cleanliness was
Spoticast?
great.
Clean-
Cleanliness, 5 stars. You know.
if only the Apple Podcast reviews were like that. I tell you what, but if you do want to leave a review, that's the place to leave it. Yeah.
Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Exactly. Before we do wrap up the episode, now is the opportunity where both of you can plug anything you've got going, whether it's an event, whether it's your Instagram, socials, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I have my Instagram is how is it called?
Jangrax. MJANRAX.
Yeah, easier. Yeah, easy to spell.
Mjang.
MJA and and what else now? Like to promote any other thing I'm doing.
Yeah, you can promote something. Is there a show coming out or something? Or
No, not lately.
not lately.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Wow. He's enjoying married life.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Actually, I was doing YouTube long time ago. When he started helping me a lot, long time. I'm repeating. Wait, I need to put some order to my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, you remember I used to do.
He used to do a lot of YouTube.
Yeah. When I started showing up in his channel, he started also trying to push my channel. Then I started doing it with another friend, with 2 friends. But it was a bit messy. It was a bit hard to keep doing. So now I'm trying to do some video blogging. I'm editing some videos, but I didn't post any yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that going to be a new channel?
I'm going to use the old channel.
Use the old channel?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
Right
I'm
on.
trying to put a lot of video blogging.
Is this going to be a solo effort?
Yeah. My wife is also
Back to the roots. I like it.
is gonna
Back to
show
the
up with
roots.
me.
That's what you should have been doing in the first place.
Okay, so maybe promote that. What's the channel? The channel's name?
The name of the channel is Project Jang Min.
Okay.
Is the name of the old channel. So I didn't do it for 2 years. So it's like a comeback. So
Oh.
I hope many people can come in and take a look. So please, if you didn't, subscribe.
Nice.
All right, June.
You guys can check me out. Oh, goodness.
That's all right.
I'm getting emotional trying to promote my channel.
That's the passion I lack of. Oh, shit. I'm learning so much today.
You should have shed a tear.
Gotta learn how to cry on the spot, man. Oh, no, but I don't have anything immediate coming up. I actually started my own podcast too,
Oh, right on.
but we've recorded a couple episodes where we haven't launched yet. But in the future, would love to bring you guys on too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys can check me out on Joon Lee Comedy, primarily Instagram. I mean, all the socials, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, and if you guys need any hosting gigs or anything like that or acting gigs, just hit me up, check me out. Thank you.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome. Guys, thanks for joining us today. Of course, if you want to check out any of the stuff that we've done here today, you can find us on Instagram at Dive Studios. You can also find us on YouTube where you can watch the podcast in its entirety. It means you don't just have to listen to it. Just means you have to sit in front of a computer or hold your phone. Also, find us on Spotify, find us on Apple Podcasts where you can leave a review. We appreciate 5-star reviews. 4 stars, not so much, but we'll
Take
be
it.
willing to accept them. 1 star and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Done. Awesome. Guys,
It was
thank
awesome
you.
to have you guys.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you so much for joining
inviting
us.
me.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
See you guys next week. Bye.
Hope you enjoyed the clip. If you did, listen to the full episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
And make sure to subscribe to this channel, Dive Studios, and put those notifications on. Hit that bell.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.